Hey, how you doing? So I just wanted to play the words. Shout out to Wacky World. He said some of the stuff couldn't be heard. I'll fix that on the next live stream. That was kind of like a test, Wacky World, to see how that was going to come through. And you're right, it didn't come through well. I'll find another way to put that in. So I was on a live stream early today, and I realized something, Wacky World, that kind of correlates to a panel I was on, Wacky World, the other day. The dudes who have achieved something versus the dudes who believe that women would never go left. Let me say it again. The mentality, the intellect between the dudes who have achieved something in life and they protect themselves from women. The dudes who have achieved something in life and they never put themselves in a position where women can hurt them as much. The dudes who have achieved some level of power, lawyer money, whatever the case may be, walking away from women when they need help, uh, any conduct that doesn't allow him as a black son to put a woman in a position where she can defeat him, versus the guys who never thought a woman would do something like that, or it don't make sense for a woman to betray, or it don't make sense for a woman to do some of the shady stuff that women do. Even when you with Asian women, they will do shady things. Even when you're with Pakistani women, they will do shady things. You never get into a point, Wacky World, or anybody listening, to where you believe this woman will not go left. Your own mother will go left to suit herself. Your own mother will go left to suit herself. Your homeboy with his feminine ways, with his emotional ways, your homeboy with his feminine thought process will go left. Can't avoid it. Can't avoid it. So you should not be amazed when your own mama goes left. You should not be amazed when your own homeboy with his feminine ways goes left. You shouldn't be amazed when your homeboy and his emotional ways goes left. Stop being amazed. And when you stop being amazed, you will no longer be mad. When you stop being amazed, you will no longer be mad. You'll be, what does Mr. Research say all the time? You won't be mad, you'll be convinced. Mr. Research is right. I have to, every time I pull out my penis, I got to make sure I have financial power over this woman I'm about to sleep with. Every time I get ready to give this woman this sausage, I got to make sure I got lawyer money in case this chick goes left. And here's the topic for today. When you are an established man, and I'm not talking just money, established, meaning you got your house, you got your vehicles, you got your property, you got your business. Nobody can tell you nothing. You can lose a job tomorrow and you'll still be all right. That's what established is. When you're an established black man, women can't tell you nothing and they get intimidated. When you're an established black man, women can't tell you nothing and they get intimidated. This is where the problem always come from. Honorable Wacky World from the esteemed 1.0 Black Manosphere. I was raised with thinking that it's common sense for men to never put themselves into position. That's why Wacky and I get along so well. Wacky understands Like I understand. Me and my homeboy are cool, but I'm not gonna put myself in a position for you to take advantage of me. Me and the dude I used to buy dope from, it's cool. But I ain't gonna put myself in a position to get robbed walking in here buying from you. Me and my partner I did crime with are cool. But I ain't gonna put myself in a position where if you get your house raided and lose money, then I'm losing money too. I'll never forget. Me and my partner had a full blown argument about where we should keep the dope at. Dude, let's just split this money. Let's just split this money, cause your situation is totally different from mine. And the same can be said of women. Your woman is there to assist you. Assist you. You need to already be on your purpose. Your woman is there to assist you. And when she is no longer assisting you, just like a business partner, all right, sweetheart, how much is this divorce going to cost? Oh, okay, no problem. Go ahead. Let's split it in half. No argument. A matter of fact, you take a 55. You take 60. I don't even care. I got more money coming. You see, Cliffhanger, the problem is Mr. Research sounds strange because I don't believe in arguing with women. I believe in driving past them. Mr. Research seems weird because I don't sound like I'm from the hood, but I made more hood moves than the motherfucker standing on the block. Mr. Research sounds strange. He sounds like he hate women. I don't hate women because I have no emotional tie to them. I know how to drive past them. But you're talking down to women. No, I'm talking up to black sons. I'm more concerned about black sons than I am about daughters. What? That don't make no sense. It does in my review mirror. Oh, you just arrogant. I embrace that. Please call me some more names. Great. You just absolutely. Cliffhanger, what are your thoughts?
I don't think you're crazy or insane. I think that you evolved from where you were at when you were in your adolescence to now being in a higher level than most of the people. And mostly when there's hate, there's a form of appreciation from you because you need haters out there in the world. They're always going to hate on you. They're always going to say, you're crazy, you're doing this and you're doing that, but you're doing something that you want to do. I do want to comment on the one thing that you said about all women. You know, sometimes they'll all turn left. Doesn't matter what the color is. Doesn't matter what the nationality is. That is 100% facts that you just said. And I hope some people out there in the internet is actually listening to that gem.
Wait. How dare you? Because in the broke brother language, only black women. In the broke brother language, all other women are outstanding. But that's just a guy who hasn't dealt with a lot of variations of women. Go ahead, Cliffhanger.
Yes. Right now, I have a brother right now that's going through a divorce from a black woman. And I told him, I said, hey, man, you're going through your divorce. You're separated. Hey, I'm sorry that you hear that. But for right now, this is a great opportunity for you to basically spread your wings and experience the whole nationalities of women, different cultures, different types of experiences. And he has never been as happy as he is until now when he's sampling it. And one thing we got to do, man, we got to get out of this hood mentality. This hood mentality is pushing us back 30 to 40 years. You know, we need to start elevating ourselves up to understanding, hey, different types of, ideas of what's being established is getting your bank account right, getting your your attorney game up. That means paying and advising, having an attorney, or
What?
even
Whoa,
getting your
whoa,
suit game up, having a couple.
whoa. In broke brother language, if you don't need an attorney, if you got a good case, some attorney will risk his money to help you. In broke brother language, you're talking arrogant right now, Mr. Cliffhanger.
You know what? I may be talking arrogant, but I'll tell you this right now. Look at the person right now that's living in a nice house, have his situation intact with his family, or maybe having a beautiful woman on his side that is 100% loyal to his cause. That is establishment of what you want in the future. I mean, look, a lot of guys out here in this world, you're not going to get old and you're not going to be a player forever. You're not going to be out here trying to talk and mac with women. Sooner or later, you're going to have to grow up. And sooner or later, you probably want somebody on your side that can help you with your life or assist you with your life. You know, like you said, sometimes a woman is here is to assist you. And some men don't understand that. Some men want to be a Jody from Baby Boy and drive the girls' Benz around and basically, hey, I'm stunning right now because I'm driving my girlfriend's car, or I'm stunning right now because she's giving me money out of my account. No, you got your own money. You got your own account. You got your own car. She just comes in to, to help you out or to elevate whatever you're doing.
Isn't that what they say? Isn't that what they say in the Bible? Wasn't that what didn't Boaz already have his own stuff? Wasn't she working for Boaz? Mm-hmm. And another woman came and talked Boaz into choosing this other woman to lead the rest of his servants. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a different Bible. But let me get to what Wacky World says. He says, CA, I've heard people accuse you of being arrogant because name calling is the only thing black males can do in an intellectual conversation. Because name calling is the only thing black males can do in an intellectual conversation. This is why white people look at us as children. Because we can't stand on a college stage and debate the white man on his rules and win. This is when you've achieved some level of manhood. When you done let go of your physicality. I'll punch you out. I'll sock you. I'm guilty of it. I got hood in my blood. Sometimes I resort to a cat threatening me, saying all type of words like F you and okay, well, let's go. Why don't we meet up? Let's get this over with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, I might get knocked out. Shit, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Because evidently you can't have an intellectual conversation. See, this is the problem with the black male. You want these women to submit to your physicality because you don't have intellectual. Let me say it again. You want women, even white women, to submit to your physicality, and your own son don't even respect you. Your own daughter don't even respect you. Let's take the women out of it for a minute. Let's take the women and the white man out of it. Your own children don't respect you. But what's the problem here? My father was an asshole. But guess what? He made his situation happen. He created an environment. One of the houses I own right now is his. Hey, he left me some property. I mean, what can I say? So that's the whole point. Let me address one other thing. Great Parrot said Trump or Biden. Neither one is relevant to black people because black people are going to be hurt by Biden. Well, actually, it would have been Trump, but black people are going to get hurt by Biden. Wacky World makes another statement. I view you as a humble brother. That's why, you'll hear me say, go ahead, Cliffhanger, get your point in. Cliffhanger, let me know when you finish speaking. And You know what I'm saying? Because we're having a conversation. But what's wrong with the you ever see that cartoon Dumbo where the crows are on the line and they all squawking and cackling like women, like women, like women, with the cigar in their mouth, but behaving like gays and women. And that's where the manosphere is now. It's a bunch of crows, and you have to agree. Well, I be unseen by everything. When I see an elephant fly, yes, it is. When I see an elephant fly, and when they saw the elephant fly, they said, "Well, darn, not I'm wrong, not I was mistaken." See, this is the problem. Cliffhanger, educate me, sir.
That was a lot of to compact, but I'm going to go ahead and try to, assist with this matter. So one thing I also understand as well is it's not only what Black males not looking at when it comes down to having those conversations in an intellectual level, but it's also the work ethic to actually go and get the knowledge that you need to have those conversations. One thing about some Black folks, I'm not going to say all Black folks. One thing about some Black people is they want free handouts. They want free handouts instead of going and working hard to get what you need to get. You have to pray to Jesus to make sure everything goes all right with your financial game or with your house and paying your bills.
Hold on for a second. And for everybody out there, let me explain what he means by free handouts, because it's not the white version of free handouts. Free handout means that you expect things to be fair. You expect that Chinese Tom got that situation, so you should get that situation. You don't put yourself in a position to force people to do hey, if part of my taxes is going to Chinese Tom, then part of my taxes need to go to my children as well. See, handouts comes to we as Black folks being like, well, we got to be fair. No. You need to stand on that white man's stage and make an intellectual argument. I support ADOS because Israel gets reparations every year, because the Italians got reparations in Louisiana, because the Japanese got reparations for their 1 year, 2 years in jail. Because the Chinese continue to get reparations every year in every county in this nation. So I should be able to go up and make that intellectual argument. But handouts sometimes come from, let me kick up my feet as Black women or women in general, and enjoy these Ronald Reagan laws that he passed for us in 1986 that allow us to sit back and take it and get a check and be able to file head of household. That is the part of handouts. I'm sorry, Cliffhanger, go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, once again, these handouts that, and I could say that the past generation has shown us how to get those handouts, because I remember when I was a kid, that basically when a bill collector called my mama's house, she used to use different types of tactics, like, put your child on the phone to make sure that, she's not here, and hangs up instead of taking full responsibility and just paying your bill. Now, me growing up, I'm in this field. I'm a bill collector. I do this for a living. And I hear this all the time from different people, and even a majority is people of our color that basically they want free handouts instead of just taking responsibility and paying their bills. And this is way before the pandemic. This is way before the pandemic that's happening. So I just wanted to let us know that, hey, if for us to get into this level of having these conversations in an intellectual level, we need to start building up a work ethic physically and building up a work ethic logically. That means maybe sometimes stop watching Real Housewives of Atlanta or Power and sit down and read a fucking book once in a while to get some knowledge, so that way you can compete with the next person.
Or for you women out there, go suck on the penis of a dude that's already achieving. Go suck on the penis of a dude who's always overseas doing his military stuff, if only for 5 or 8 years. Okay, y'all can call it quits after. Go be strategic. And for you dudes out there, go get a chick that's already achieving. Stop getting a chick that's doing just enough and you expecting her to do 50-50. Again, stop getting broke chicks and expecting them to respect you as a man. Go get a chick who makes that 60, no, not 60, I'm sorry, that 75, 80, 90K that you make. So when y'all do split, it's a handshake. Stop getting with the ones who need your money. This is a two-way street. Wacky World makes another good comment. He said, unfortunately, you're correct. We are very childish. No, Wacky, not you and I, not Cliffhanger, not some of my fans, not B Mays, those 80% evil mode. See, 20% of us are cool. 20% of women are cool. 20% of dudes are cool. It's them 80% dudes out there. They're the ones that are tripping. They're the ones who can't, who can't. Wacky got dreads. It's 2020. How is that an intellectual conversation? How? So what? Wacky got a hairstyle. It's a hairstyle. This is the problem. Let me make another comment real quick, and then we'll give it back to Cliffhanger. Mr. Mays, exactly. Kids know the real. Great Parrot says Trump or Biden going to help the black community. Trump does less policy, sir. Trump does less policy, and because he does less policy, then you're still riding on the stuff that Obama created. Remember, Bush destroyed everything. So Greater Parrot, Bush destroyed everything. Him and Dick Cheney destroyed everything. We had a lot of money here after Clinton. GOP stole everything and gave it to Halliburton. So if you're going to make some comments in the chat room, talk about Dick Cheney. Antisocial, my lady from England, how are you? Handshake versus handout. Underground Steeds. Oh yeah, not the wolf, brother. As a wolf, no sir. It's my cave, Cliffhanger. It's my rules. I understand it's raining. You are my son, but I will put you out in the cold and let you fend for yourself. If you want to stay in this cave, what do we have to do? Your rules, father. Absolutely. Mom, don't speak up. Let that go. I let you speak earlier. I'm good. My cave, my rules. You see this grizzly bear gouged out my eye when me and him fought for this cave. It's my cave. Ain't no 50-50s. Cliffhanger, what are your thoughts?
So a couple things. Number one, if for the people who are still on this, and don't get me wrong, I was on the Trump train as well, but keep in mind, look at what's going on right now when they're trying to negotiate a stimulus package. People are right now out there in this world dying. They're starving. They can't pay their rent or anything of that nature, not because of the fault of their own. Is because certain politicians tell them, hey, we're going to do a lockdown, and it closed up businesses. But you're seeing from the Republican side, from Mitch McConnell, trying to lowball the American people when he's sitting in a multi-million-dollar mansion somewhere at
Whoa, 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 whoa,
when
whoa,
he
whoa,
goes.
whoa, 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 whoa. Before you continue, let's give everybody some perspective on Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell has been in office over 50 years in the Senate. His Kentucky, when he got in, Kentucky was maybe 15th poorest. For the past 30 years, Kentucky has been the third poorest in the entire nation, yet they keep electing him. I went on a couple of white people's pages and said this. They got quiet. I said, you white people keep electing this dude. Okay. And he does nothing for Kentucky. Matter of fact, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to seek out people from Kentucky talking politics just to raise this point. The other thing you got to know about Mitch McConnell, his wife, who under Trump is with the Treasury, I believe, or transportation, either Treasury or transportation.
Transportation.
His wife's family got caught on cocaine smuggling off of the boat they own. Yet, no journalist asked him how he felt about that. Now, this is before the internet really blew up, but this dude is connected to a lot of evil. But they keep putting him in. They keep calling him Leader McConnell. But this is the ridiculous part of it. Go ahead, Cliffhanger. I just wanted to put that in there.
Just so we're all on the same page, Mitch McConnell has basically tried to lowball the American people. As for, we see the other side of Nancy Pelosi is sticking to her type of, strategy is, I'm not going to go and lower down. I want $3.3 trillion to help out everything. And when people are still sick. So number one, just understand that this political game is not meant for us because we don't have people that are in the game right now, and political wise, that can basically discuss our issues and our plight. Secondly, when it comes down to basically the household, I think there's an opportunity that most men need to do is, if you have an opportunity, use your assurance card or go to Mr. And I'm throwing a little advertisement out there to you, Mr. Research right here. He does counseling sessions. Hey, we all need counseling. We need to figure out what is up with us so we can lead better. It's the time for the Ray Rays and the Pookies and the Jodies and all these other things is over. And you're seeing this from a prime example. There's a world star hip hop video, video that's out, and it's been out for quite a while. A kid was trying to court this girl. The girl dissed him. The man takes a skateboard and smack her inside the face with it. This is where our society is going because there's not enough leadership in that household to basically raise a proper male or a proper female. So we have to take some counseling in ourselves and understand, even if it's through a professional or it's even through Mr. Research. We need to get some counseling so that way we can understand ourselves and how we can, love ourselves better and lead better.
All right. So I grabbed a piece of paper because that's what my counselor suggested that I do. I stopped I realized I was interrupting you, and I grabbed a piece of paper and started writing down what I wanted to say when the microphone was my turn. And that way I don't have to interrupt you. So that's part of what my counselor has taught me. I've taken 3 weeks off, ladies and gentlemen. I took 2 weeks off of my job, and I took a third week. You see, I haven't really done too much with YouTube because YouTube's not my primary situation. And I realized a lot of you guys have reached out for counseling. I had to cleanse my soul first. I hope somebody's learning from this. I had to cleanse my soul from the internet, from work, from other things going on. 4 a.m. in the morning, I was out shooting basketball, practicing my shot, just to do something that I like to do that I haven't got a chance to do in a long time. Then I just went rolling around in my vehicle listening to classic break beats, not even words, just break beats, something that I enjoy doing. I needed to get back to the raw things that have to do with me being a dude and get away from what everybody else needs and for what everybody else expects. So hopefully somebody learned from that. So I will get to all those counseling people. I know some people have sent me money for counseling. I am going to get to you. I just had to cleanse my soul first. People in the political game. So something Cliffhanger said about people in the political game. We actually do have people in the political game, males. The problem is, gentlemen, other males are always verbally downcasting these dudes. The problem is, Cliffhanger, other males, and I want you to speak to this, Cliffhanger, when I give you the mic. The problem is other males are downcasting dudes for things they don't understand. I tell you guys, if you don't like Al Sharpton, make Al Sharpton 4.0. Get off your ass and financially support somebody who's going to replace Al Sharpton. If not, shut up about Al Sharpton because the white people look at Al Sharpton as the enemy. So as long as the white people are scared, or let's call them anti-blacks, as long as the anti-blacks are scared, then you let Satan sit up there. You let the Antichrist stay up there. You let Judas stay up there. It don't matter. Because if you're strategic, the last thing you want to do is verbally join the white folks. You don't want to verbally join the white folks, even if you feel Al Sharpton is wrong. What you need to do is reach into your pocket with 20,000 other dudes and pull out $1,000 and create Al Sharpton 4.0. Because if not, you're verbally helping white people. And I want Cliffhanger to speak to that when I give him the microphone. Let me also say you got Mr. Jeffries. He speaks for black men. But see, the problem is B. Mays. The problem is Underground Steel. The problem is Brown Bird. Other than Mr. Research, ain't too many of us financially supporting these dudes. Not with your fucking words, with money. With money, gentlemen. You need to financially protect the black men or black women who are down for black sons. If not, you're not supporting, you're talking. You grab on the loudest bullhorn with the biggest speakers, and you talking. If Mr. Research get up there right now, and this goes back to what Wacky said, it'll be black men saying Mr. Research arrogant. Because white dudes would be too afraid to say it. It'll be black men trying to create the narrative. Oh, don't listen to Mr. Research. He just mad because he on TV. Why are you even speaking? And I want Cliffhanger to speak to that. You see, the issue, gentlemen, we're not financially bankrolling what we say we want. You get these cats on YouTube say a lot of stuff. But when you look in their personal life, oh, why does that matter? Because I need to know that you've achieved something. Razzmatazz has achieved something. Brown Bird has achieved something. You still driving a taxi. How the fuck you gonna tell me you know what it's like to battle white people? If you still pushing a broom and you're not the supervisor, you're not the manager of the broom sweepers, how the fuck you gonna tell me what it's like to sit across the boardroom meeting and tell this dude you ain't gonna accept this contract on behalf of the rest of your employees? How the fuck you gonna tell me if you a damn employee? Oh, you an employee too, Mr. Research. Semantics. Okay, I'm an employee too, but I have people under me. Let's put it that way. I own two online businesses. Let's put it that way. You're either a manager or owner. You got to stop being a worker. Get some disposable money. Drop a couple of thousand and not fucking miss it. hey, Cliffhanger, I see you running for City Hall, man, District 4. Man, I work a lot, man, but here, take this $500, man. Do whatever's necessary in marketing. Get the shit out, man. And you might want to holler at some of my people in medical. Even if you got to take that 500 and pay somebody to stand out in front of the hospital with your sign. Now we get a mic to Cliffhanger.
I should first off, let me go ahead and retract the statement that I made previously that there are, and I want to say, yes, there are people that males, especially males, that are out there that's basically trying to work for our cause. But when they try to speak regarding these causes, there's a couple of factors that come into play. Number one, all the different types of policies that people that actually pay hard-earned money to push goes first before our causes, because once again, lack of capital. Number two, as for the whole idea of basically trying to work for our causes, they'll say, hey, look, I know this cause may be, something important to you, but here's what I want you to do. I'm going to give you $25,000 to $30,000 to just keep this quiet. Don't ever talk about this until the next, 4 or 5 years when the next administration comes. And we see that. I see that also. You saw that through Al Sharpton. You saw that through Jesse Jackson. They didn't really. Al Sharpton, for prime example, went to fucking TV because he just wasn't really able to basically get up with the times. As for the critics, they're saying that you're arrogant. They're saying that because of you having a mind state of hey, I'm doing original things. I'm doing stuff that's outside the box. I'm doing something to improve my way of living and my way of life. That should never be questioned. You should step up and actually do and try to do something different so you can elevate your quality of life. I understand that some people cannot basically give money out at this time right now because, unemployment rates are going up and everything of that nature. I get it. And I totally understand it. But before all this stuff was happening, how many people out there took their hard-earned dollars to support a new politician that's going up in the ranks for him to run for office so he can bring some fresh ideas to either state? I don't know. Probably
he's supposed to do it for free, Cliffhanger. If he a real politician, that's the broke brother language.
Broke brother language. What I see here, and like I said, I'm in Kansas City. I see basically a lot of politicians that basically try to work for our cause, but there's always a hidden agenda with it. And there's always a hidden agenda because that's how politicians work. They're actors. They're actors in the stage.
Not so much hidden agenda. Let me go back to what you said. There's a bigger cash pot. Because if I'm going for Cliffhanger's agenda, seriously, and somebody comes and gives me 100,000, okay, I might turn it down the first time. I might turn it down the second time. But by the time because it's important to him, by the time he gets to 150, I'm going to stop talking because the people I'm supporting ain't bankrolling shit. Go ahead, sir.
Yes. So yes, and that's okay. Let's go to that. Let's go to that energy. So basically, when you're seeing maybe there's $5.6 million that goes to supporting different types of policies regarding LGBTQ. Then when there is 2.3 million that's dealing with development of urban communities, where do you think these politicians will go and lick their chops at? The 5.8 or the 2.3? They're going to go to that 5.8 because money is king. Money and capital is king. That brings power. One more thing And then I'll give the microphone back to you, Mr. Research. We have to, and just keep in mind, in this society and the way we're looking at things these days, you know, there's different types of, angles when it comes down to women and the intimidation factor. The reason why there is an intimidation factor is because the old ways, they don't want to bring back the old type of idea that a man leads, a man, takes opportunity. If it goes to the point where, hey, let's say, for example, somebody comes to break into your house. Do you think your woman is going to go and pull that pistol out to protect her and protect the house? No, the man is going to do that. He will just say, hey, sweetheart, I need you to stand back, go over there and sit over there beside that wall. I need to make sure everything is safe. And he has his gun cocked and stuff like that. A lot of women are forgetting about that type of scenario. But it's all this, I'm independent, I'm a survivor, Destiny's Child, all that shit. They gave you an illusion. They gave y'all some wicked illusions that now we're seeing that the get the bad culture is basically ruining the normal status and structure of the family household. I'm going to stop with that, and I'll let you go, Mr.
All right, I'm going to disappoint you just a little bit. This for the sake of fair discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to take the women's standpoint for just a second for all you guys listening. And again, this is why I say women get established men throws women off. And I'm gonna marry the two, but this goes to what Cliffhanger just said. And this is where I disagree. It was the male hyena telling her she was independent. It was the male hyena telling his own son, you can do without, let me help this strange woman. And his son looking at that and growing up to do the same thing. It was the male hyena who was saying, I need a bad chick. It was the male hyena who was saying, I need a chick taking care of me. This didn't come from the mindset of these chicks. It may have started with the white woman getting in her ear. But the problem is the black male was not as authoritative as he should be. There's a video out there I'm going to post on this channel. I'm going to do a review where two black dudes are in a freaking vehicle. And I want Cliffhanger to speak to this since he's the only person up here. Two black males in a vehicle. The white man is at his fucking vehicle, standing up, while the white woman is changing the tire on the car. And the white woman and the white man are having a discussion. Now, the white woman is not objecting to this guy standing up. But you know what these two black dudes do, Cliffhanger? They get out the car like good male hyenas. They walk over to somebody else's business that has nothing to do with them and try to intimidate the white man. You supposed to be changing the tire, man. You ain't supposed to have her doing that. If you go to France, one of the most romantic places in the entire world, these French dudes don't just change tires for the sake of changing tires. The women come second to the French man. The only place I noticed that does this type of behavior is in Italy. But Italy, oh, sweet amour, they do that because they're trying to get into bed. So that's where Don Juan came from. So this concept of women come first is a plantation creation. It's a plantation creation, Cliffhanger, because even Africans will run away from their family and children just to get free. So it's male hyenas who create a lot of this problem. The women do what they do. I agree. The women do go overboard. I agree. The women have been doing it the longest. I agree. But when are males just going to say, fuck it? Let's change the Ronald Reagan laws overnight. Let's put together 400 million, just get this over with. Let's create a system where if a black man wants custody of his child and he's not willing to take government subsidies, that he gets that child. That's what I'm working on right now with some Republicans. I'm working on trying to get. We want to get that in front of the Senate. If a man wants his child, he should be able to go in front of that judge, say, I don't need no support from the government. I don't need no money from her. And the judge should hear that. But you gotta, I gotta waste $500 to help a bunch of other people and white folks and Latins change that law. Cliffhanger, what are your thoughts?
So let me actually get on that situation. So two black guys are in a car, saw a white man standing up and a white woman changing a tire. And the two black guys got out the car and basically tried to interrupt this man's environment and his situation at that time. That's we know that sometimes the black man wants or just black people want a hug from the white people. That's what it shows right there. You want to go in with these old traditions of you ain't supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that. What if she really wanted to do that? What if that was raised in her that she knows how to change tires and that was her passion? She likes to change tires and hey, the tire went down and hey,
don't worry. But the broke brother logic is don't even get that a possibility to be the chance. Go interrupt, have the dude pull a gun, have the dude defend himself, and then scream Black Lives Matter after the fact, after you went in and created a chaotic situation that had nothing to do with you. Go ahead, Cliffhanger.
Absolutely. That just shows you a prime example that we cannot, for some odd reason in our minds, we cannot really leave our own stuff, just leave it alone. We just can't leave it alone and drive past it. We can't leave it alone, drive past it. We always got to take action. We always got to save the day, have a cape on, and try to be Captain Save somebody. You know what I'm saying?
But we can't take action for our own son. Our own son can't walk into a ready-made job. Our own son can't go to the job that we work at and say, hey, I'm the son of Mr. Right. Well, come on in and get this internship on the weekend. See, we're so concerned about helping women. We're so concerned about helping white folks because it's something I got on Mr. Fantastic ass about earlier today. And I'm going to get on his ass some more. The Buffalo Soldier wanted to help white people because the Buffalo Soldier wanted to be seen as a man. You didn't get nothing for that. Oh, I got a house and so, sir, you could have got that if you had just went to college. Sir, you got your house through credit and a credit union. You didn't get your house through the military. Let me say it again. You got your house through credit and a credit union that the military provided you, but you could have went to the post office and got the same fucking thing. You go and help these white people, and I'm not crapping down on people. I just want you guys to look at the broader view, the way the enemy is looking at you. The enemy is looking at you as we're not thinkers. Go ahead, Cliffhanger.
Black Lives Matter right now is the biggest joke in America at this time. You're telling me you will go ahead and just give this for a prime example. You're telling me that you will go ahead and march and protest when some white person or some white cop comes and kills a black person. But you won't protest when there's a black person killing another black person. Or you're not protesting when, let's just say, for example, all these rappers right now, they're getting shot by by just mass people or even their own people. But if Kenny Chesney was out there and he pulled a shotgun and shoot T.I., oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. We're pulling up flags. We're throwing up signs. We're marching. We're this and that. Man, it's so idiotic that it boggles me. It just boggles me that
Part of the problem is, in order to stop black on black crime, you're going to have to ignore the tears of mothers. Let me just say it real. That's why my solution is, let's financially fine the mothers, $2,000 to $12,000, depending on the crime of their children.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Black Lives Matter is the new KKK?
I do not, and here's why. Because the KKK would go out of their way to go to people's homes and disrupt folks. The KKK would systematically bomb people. It's more than just talking. Now, I will admit this: there's not enough male structure in Black Lives Matter, which would make them more structural. It's not, and this is the problem sometimes when you let women control things. They just let things go. You know what I'm saying? They did create Black Lives Matter, but you should have given it structure. Even if you say all of our Black Lives Matter people have yellow shirts, if you didn't see a person with a yellow shirt, they're not Black Lives Matter. See, that would have solved half the problem right there. But it's hard to be strategic in some women created scenarios, because just like the ladies from Black Lives Matter, not only do they allow things to get chaotic, but their behavior, yelling on people's microphones, gets chaotic, and then they start switching their allegiance. First is Black men, now is trans guys, and you know what I'm saying? So now you don't even know what it stands for. So I won't put it on the level of the KKK, but I understand, because it's so chaotic that all you can do is go off the violence that you see. But in conclusion, I have seen some white people who pretended to be part of Black Lives Matter, and they were there to create chaos in an effort to show BLM as a bad thing. So it's a good and bad. I also like the fact that for the first time in my lifetime, white people are considering that Black lives do matter. So I'm willing to take the bad with the good, because strategically, when I see the Catholic Church, who were the first organization to support BLM, putting it on every church across the nation, because I used to get on airplanes and see this shit everywhere before it became a thing. I will take the good in that. I just think we as Black men, and maybe that's something I need to do. Matter of fact, I'll do that today. We need to reach out to these BLM organizations and become a footnote, because I'm part of ADOS Bay Area right now. So I'll try to reach out to Black Lives Matter. But go ahead. Let me stop interrupting you.
Okay. So another thing that you also put into perspective is the whole idea of women being fined. I think there's more to just being fined. I think that now it's to the point where it's getting so chaotic. Forget about fines. If there's any form of parent alienation at all, that you could find evidence and proof of parent alienation from that woman, she should no longer have her child in her custody.
There's no statute in law to measure that. That's the problem. It's like measuring good or versus bad. So the only way you can measure that, you would have to create a system of which men's rights have tried to do. Create a system that the custodial parent, no matter who it is, has to check off monthly in order to receive their check. But that needs more Black male support. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. One thing I could say with this is from my personal experiences through court systems in 2 states. If you have evidence, and if you have an attorney that what was it, the Wolf lifestyle, always keep an attorney on deck, you can prove of parent alienation. Now, look at what we have right now. Right now, we have a supercomputer in our hands. We have a smartphone. That is a supercomputer that can tell you anything and everything about anything in the palm of your hands. Also, it records. We have computers. We have text messaging. We have emails. I mean, you can prove parent alienation. But the biggest thing is us black men, when your baby mama comes and snaps in your ear and talks all this shit in front of you, you just sit down and you just and just be quiet and just let her just say anything to you instead of being like this. Before you do that, let me do this real quick. Hit record. Okay, you can go ahead and do what you got to do now. And
Absolutely.
Just see the circus. And then you say, "Oh, hey, attorney John Doe, attorney,
Absolutely.
I got proof and evidence of this woman doing this on numerous occasions in front of my child. Here's the evidence."
Actually, if that's what you mean by alienation, yes. If you can get the video proof, I always say make sure you can hire a private investigator. This is a person that will sit out in front of the location and take the same type of videos. Here's another thing. You can buy what's called a cell phone necklace anytime you go pick up your child or interact with a woman. Just keep the flash part of it off. And every time you get out your car, walk up to the house, you have your cell phone running and recording everything on your cell phone necklace. You don't have to utter no words. You can do it that way. Go ahead and finish, sir.
One other thing that I also will say is a little tip for guys who are going through the particular struggle of custody fights or anything like that. Please, and I will say this, and it's just depending on where state you're in, do not put the Family Protection Services involved. The reason why you want a police officer into the mix instead of family services is family services main objective is to bring families together. So let's say that let's say little Sally is getting abused. Well, instead of little Sally mother going to jail, they're going to put little Sally's mother in rehab. They might take her to drug court, have her go and piss test for a year. And then once after that year is up, they see if she's doing good on her piss test. They will slowly bring her back into custody with little Sally. Now, there has not been any type of charges put up against her or any type of responsibility or accountability put up against her because Child Protective Services also is funded by the government to keep the bankroll flowing. I will say to y'all, man, if y'all go into that particular situation and that's an issue, go to the police office first. If your son or your daughter is saying, hey, I'm being abused, go to the police station, file a report. The police officer will reach out to the services. But what will happen is she will have to go to court first through a criminal charge before a juvenile charge. And I'm done.
Jonathan, what are your thoughts?
I'm just learning, man. I pretty much researched the Title IV child support thing. So,
Wow, what do you think?
It makes sense because a lot of the times, like I remember one time one of my homies, he had money in his hand and he wanted to pay his child support early. The lady pretty much looked at him like, oh, why are you coming here early? And he said to her, I got a son, he needs me. The child support laws is definitely crooked, and when it comes to the child family court and shit, they have too much power.
What did you learn about Title IV? What did you learn about Title IV?
Well, I learned that the aspects of where funding is pretty much being allocated, where the funding is being allocated, who is pretty much in charge. I figured out what the word arbitrator means. So, your boy ain't completely mastered it, but I'm still going to be researching it because I asked the questions to my homies. And it makes sense when it comes to Title IV of people misusing funding in order to be able to collect fees on the back end.
So for people who don't realize, Title IV is connected to the Treasury of America. And what has happened is Title IV helps replenish the Treasury. This is why they work hard to make sure you don't get off of child support. Obama created a system called COPA. This is another thing Obama helped Black men on. He created a system called COPA that allows you to pay your primary and forego the interest on your child support as long as you pay all the primaries. Well, it's not the fact that Obama created it. The people that supervise COPA are always giving you excuses on how you don't approve to get on it, or they denied you a reason. It's really crazy. So this is why I said to a men's right group that I'm part of, we have to create our own version because we can no longer allow these male hyenas. Remind you, I don't blame women. I blame male hyenas. We got to stop these male hyenas from supporting these anti-male causes. And this is what it's going down to. Cliffhanger.
You know what? I want to give a sorry about that. I want to give a prime example of what Jonathan was just saying. Let's go back, and I saw this a few months ago on an interview with Earthquake. Earthquake, the comedian, basically did was he overpaid his support to the point where, because he was a comedian, he only gets a 1099, so he's an independent contractor. He gets a 1099. Basically, if he gets sick, hey, he can't get it garnished. So he overpays his support to the point where when his son was 16, he was already done paying support. Instead of the mother actually, being wise and taking that money and basically using the money to basically, set up things so that way she can actually, let's say she can get away with it because some of the money is inflation. She is now saying that I'm poor. I'm finna get evicted from my house and stuff because Earthquake, the comedian, basically did was overpaid his support to the point where his son was 16. He no longer is obligated to pay support anymore. This is and with the child support system is mostly if a man doesn't have to pay, the state will actually fund the child, or excuse me, fund the mother regardless of it. The reason why they want the father to pay is so that way they can get that kickback. Plus, the federal government will give them a kickback of 80% of whatever the percentage is from that support. So they're getting doubled whatever they get back from it. That's why they can fund the child support systems, that's child enforcement agencies.
Sir, that's Title IV.
Exactly.
That's Title IV. No, yeah, that's Title IV, Cliffhanger. You just explained the Title IV.
Yeah, I'm just explaining Child IV. I'm
just trying I said Title IV. Title IV is what you just explained. But go ahead. My car is beeping.
No. I do understand. I'm explaining Title IV. I'm just explaining Title IV to the people out there that didn't really get that understanding of what it is. But what I'm trying to say is they want you to be in that system. No matter what the situation is, even if you're a fit parent, you have a better household than the next parent. Let's say the mother lives in poverty and you're living in a gated community out there in the suburbs. They want that child to still be in that poverty area because at the end of the day, it's funding that particular cause of government. And I'm done.
Yeah, they collect the money off the back end. That's pretty much what I got from my research. They get money on the front end and the back end. Plus, my homie, man, he's a good father, man. Like, he's always there for his son. And he wanted to pay early before they even had any notices. And, Well, you didn't pay at March, April. I had money since January. He had he had receipts and everything. He managed to get it covered up with his lawyer and shit. But I'm telling you, man, they trying to gaff you up and try to act like you the irresponsible parent or why you here. Because really, he recorded the whole conversation with the lady at the county office, man, and she talking that shit. Well, why you here early? Why? He got a son. He got a living son.
That's why I'm going back to the title. This is why we need to be established, because a lot of this stuff happens, and welcome, Raw B. A lot of this stuff happens because we are not established. And I want to get back to the title now that we have a lady here. You see, I think a lot of times is relationships sometimes don't work. Okay. And I'm gonna go back to Jonathan real quick. Relationships sometimes don't work. Okay, Jonathan. But if you're established, which is more than just money. If you're established, you have your own home, you have your own vehicles, you work, but you're not limited to that job. You got other stuff in the fire, other moves that you're making. When you're established, it's difficult for a woman to come into your life and talk shit. It's difficult for a woman to take you off your purpose, Jonathan. Now, I know you're a young brother, but does it not make sense that you as an established man should be the first one she chooses, Jonathan?
Well, of course, a lot of the times it doesn't necessarily happen that way, but in the ideal, yes. But me, females, females ain't like I told you all the time. I don't come here in the space of to be able to have the female dating, coaching game, pimping type S. No, it's the point of power, and like how you mentioned about established men trying to be able to make sure that they at least get some forms of protection when it comes to lawyers and having proper etiquette to be able to navigate certain situations. If she doesn't see me, I ain't necessarily tripping, because there's going to be someone else that sees me just as fine.
And Cliffhanger, I'm going to say the same thing to you. And this goes to the title. Welcome, Manosphere Financial. This goes back to the title. When you're an established dude, you got your house, you got your vehicles, you got your other business situations going on. Maybe it's just a hustle, but you got it. You know what I'm saying? So if you lose your job, you're not hurting, Cliffhanger. Why is it the women in our community are not like the Latinas and the Haitians and the Boricuas? Why don't they see that established situation as a great thing?
Because their culture was never taken from them. And not only their culture was never taken from them, that there actually have been things that were put in place to actually destroy any type of mini culture that was established. So, for example, when we talk about the Ronald Reagan laws, the Ronald Reagan laws that basically take the father out the household, the mother now is teaching the daughter, hey, you can go and get this bag just like I get this bag, and that's where I'm independent. I could do this all by myself. I don't need this. I could talk to you any kind of way. I'm going to wave my finger in your face and snap my neck. And you as a man, you're supposed to take that. But if you have that type of mentality of understanding that your house and your everything that you build up is kind of like a kingdom and you rule all this stuff, there are certain laws and established types of parameters that you go by. And if that woman is not in that mix of following those guidelines or those rules or those establishments, hey, you have to take her out your life. That's the same way with this prime example that billionaire that was dating Mariah Carey. The billionaire saw Mariah Carey taking that money and spending it. His advisor said, hey, look, she's not good for you. You got to get rid of her. And that's what he did. Got rid of her. And I'm done.
Okay, so let me say this
Go
real quick.
ahead. Go ahead. And then after she speaks, then we'll get to Manosphere Financial. Go ahead.
Honestly, it's my advice for Black men to establish custody when things are good. I mean, Black men.
But you got to have finances to do that.
No, you really don't. You guys, like, even people that don't have a good amount of money, you can go to the courthouse and establish joint custody and define the terms of your parenting relationship and fiduciary responsibility when things are in a good place.
Okay,
And
I'm gonna play the American woman. Why we gotta do that? What? Did,
because it was necessary to make sure our
why
child
is it necessary? We together.
Because it is. I don't know. Like,
you just see, this is the shit I'm talking about. You just causing all these problems.
Well, if something happens to our child and neither one of us have a custody agreement,
well, ain't nothing happened to our child. We sleeping together.
But what happens if we die?
You know what? This ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna go down to the government and sign up for a welfare right now because this ain't gonna work.
Oh Lord, do women actually say that?
Yes, my dear. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Wow.
Got recordings of this too from my homie, man. So that's why I'm pretty much trying to figure out what's Title IV. I'm pretty trying to figure out Title IV so I can be like a paralegal to my homie, man.
Do you know?
Wait. Seriously, women will threaten to leave and immediately go sign up for, wait for it, everybody. Sign up for not necessarily welfare. What's the other one called?
TANF or SNAP?
No, it's not SNAP. It's what's the one? Prenatal stuff. What is that?
Oh, Medicaid.
No, it's not. It's not called.
Oh,
Medicaid.
wait.
Planned Parenthood.
It's not that. That's the agency. It's called something else. Anyway, it'll come to me. But they sign up for the one that's prenatal. And what the prenatal people do is run your paperwork through welfare to see if you a WIC. That's what it is. WIC. You sign up for WIC, and they run your paperwork through the welfare side. Now you're not at that point approved for the welfare side. You're only approved for WIC, but the man or the normally the man, the co-parent interest starts running as soon as the WIC paperwork is filed, because once they get to the welfare paperwork, they combine the two finances.
Oh, nah. So let me tell you guys something about WIC, right? Now, WIC for people that are in a severe need is appropriate, but WIC probably gives you like $134 worth of food. If you can't come up with an extra $134 a month for food while you're pregnant, you're SOL when your child is actually born. As a woman that has a co-parenting relationship outside of my marriage, I went to court and requested joint custody. Me and my daughter's father don't have these type of issues, but this is why I tell Black men, you have to choose wisely.
Now that is true, but I want to get back to the WIC part. I think people don't understand when I say the finances are combined. So let's assume that they give you only $100 worth of food. There is anywhere from, depending on what state you live, there's anywhere from a 16 to a 26%, because it works like a credit card. There's a 16 to 20% interest plus late fees. So when you pay any child support through the government, you're not just paying the primary. Your monthly that you're paying is a mix of the primary and the interest.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of times what I'm trying to suggest is that the WIC takes on that bill for the non-custodial person. Because I've had women complain to me, why I gotta pay him? Because the way the government works is whoever can afford to take the child, unless you do what Raw B has done, whoever affords to take the child, whoever has the most finances, the government will go after them. They will not let the person with the most finances keep the child. So if you're a woman with the most finances, you're not going to be custodial parent. It just doesn't work like that. Go ahead, Robbie, and then we'll go to Mr. Manosphere Financial.
Okay, I wanted to speak to also the child support situation. Men, you can pay child support up in advance forever. They're only going to give the woman the weekly payment or the monthly or the bi-weekly payment when it's due out of the excess. Because I just had the situation where I helped someone where child support was kind of messing them over. And if you're on child support, have your own audit done from your paychecks, what they're taking out as opposed to what they're paying to the custodial parent, because they mess up and they have errors in the system and sometimes they owe you money back. But you can also seek a modification if your financial status changes. And I think a lot of men mess up because maybe it's pride, maybe they're too busy, maybe they just don't know. You can go to the court and say, yeah, I was making $60,000 a year, something happened, now I'm only making $25,000 a year. And they have to legally adjust your child support payment based off of the income that you bring in. Because how child support is supposed to be calculated is the custodial parents' income, the non-custodial parents' income, and then it's based off percentages that each parent brings and the remainder that's left over.
So here's the only problem with what you just said. Well, first of all, shout out to you. Good information. But prior to Obama creating the paralegal funding, but men would have to go open up a whole nother court case. So you didn't have the paperwork. It wasn't like you could just get a paralegal and have that happen. You would have to reopen the case. So that's something that once again, your finances got to be on point to do that, because if you're just dropping $400 or $300 to go back to court, that's the filing fee alone. So it kind of depends. But luckily, Obama created something where you can just go down between the hours of 8 and 12, and they'll help you fill out the paralegal paperwork, and you don't have to pay for it to go back to court. So 50-50 on that. The other thing you said is true about pay the stuff up front. That same thing Cliffhanger said. So if you pay the stuff up front, try to overpay as much as possible so you can get rid of the primary. Listen to my words, the primary. And just like Robbie said, make sure you do an audit, because the whole purpose is for them to pretend like you owe more money than what is paid out. That's just what you're doing. It's just like a credit card. Try not to make minimum payments. Try to pay this stuff over with as quickly as possible, because it ain't the primary that hurts you. It's the interest. It's the interest. And shout out to Raw B for giving great information. Once again, you guys have to kind of be assertive. She went down and got this taken care of. So get your finances together, work overtime, get a second job, get that lawyer. Wolf rule number 2. You got anything, Raw B, before we go over to financial?
Yeah, just like also men, avoid people that kind of depend on the system. Unless they really are showing you that they have the gumption and the wherewithal to try to get off of that system. Because people that have generational dependency upon social services really have a hard time breaking that generational curse. So you will always have to pay more child support, and your child will not get that money, because when a woman is on child support, or a man, when the custodial parent is on social services, the bulk of the child support goes to social services, and then the custodial parent gets like $50-$40.
Absolutely. Thank you, Manosphere Financial, for being patient. What are your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, and this is good information. I didn't know you could audit child support, and they could look at
hell yeah.
Yeah, how much money taking out your check versus how much they've been paying. The person who's receiving it.
And I'm gonna say, Mr. Financial, the best way to do that is hire a low end paralegal to compare your stubs with their information and just pay that low-end paralegal like a couple of $100 to be the go-between talking to them, because those people like to play on the phone. And because, you know, I've had to help some people, man. And you really need somebody to compare notes, because we found a whole bunch of zeros for check stubs this dude has basically paid for 4 years.
Damn. Okay, so did he get that money back, or did they have to pay him back?
No, that money had to be allocated to his books, which helped him finish his primary quicker. So he finished his primary, and then I told him, just go ahead and pay out this $13,000 now. Get a loan from a credit card, get a loan from the bank, pay out this $13,000, and that will stop it all together. And you won't get into the interest part of it anymore.
So once he paid out the 13,000, was he done? Like, just completely?
He was done, but he still had the interest remaining. So his primary was done. He had no more money he had to pay to her, but he had to deal with the interest.
So was the interest, is that goes to the, where does that go? Does that go to the state?
Title IV goes to the Treasury of America.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's good information, man. But I wanted to address the part where you said about, like, why do females go after, why they seem like they're intimidated by dudes who, like, have too much or too successful or something like that?
Well, established men who have more than just money, men who got their property, their car. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to address that. My theory is that I think that's more of a class thing, and in our community, we don't want to recognize class. We just think that we're all the same class. In reality, we're not. If you're just like any other group of people on the planet, just like any other nation around the world, whatever, in Black America, you have. And what happens is, you know, a guy who is established, that type of guy, he needs to be going after women come from like families where it's gonna advance him to deal with her. If you know, if you got your own business, whatever, you making $100K, whatever like that, you got to get to the point where, you know, civically you're like in a position where you know you can be a mover and shaker. You know, stop trying to get with women who just have a job and all they want is to just have a job, or women who just making a certain amount of money. It's like all they want. You need to get with those types of like upper echelon dudes. You can get with the women that come from the upper echelon families, and I think that that's something that's not being talked about. It's like, okay, you're a successful Black man, and you're wondering why, you know, this female that's in front of you isn't trying to get with you. She's not trying to, you know, whatever, whatnot. And the reality is, it's a class issue.
Well, I will agree. I will agree with you. I will agree with you. It's a class. I will agree with. I will agree with you. It's a class issue. You gotta take us off the car phone.
That's what causes that intimidation factor. But I just want to put that out there and just hear
Okay. You got to take us off the car phone and try using the speaker phone on your cell phone, because your car phone is not coming through in the live stream. I can hear you, but the rest of the audience can't hear you. But no, he made a good point. It is a classism issue. Let's go back to Cliffhanger, and then we'll go back to Raw B. It is a classism issue, but I've never dated a woman who didn't have a great professional career. I don't date cashiers. I've walked away from some beautiful nail technicians, I just don't, Cliffhanger. I date nothing but doctors, lawyers. I think the lowest I dated was a social worker. I date women who make close to what I'm making. I mean, that's the whole point of marriage, is for us to go forward, not for me to just get somebody cute. I don't know, Cliffhanger, am I wrong? Educate me.
Well, what I'm going to do here is actually do this. I'm going to blend what this guy just said previously and what Rob B said previously, and I'm trying to going to put these two together. We have to understand that dating, and even if you bring a child in the world, is a business situation. And the reason why I say that is, what, for prime example, a guy said, you need to start, it's a class issue, and basically you need to look for a woman that does this and does that. It doesn't matter, because the propaganda that's been put into our society at this time is, even if you are making a high paying job, even if you have six figures as an income, if you mess up or have a child with her, she will go left and go to the state and go to the courthouse. Just like the whole situation with Rob B saying about, you need to basically vet better when you deal with a woman, and basically try to establish custody earlier. They don't understand that it's all business. And with business, our society is more of capitalism. So they're going to try to get the higher amount first. You're seeing this, and I'm going to go to another example. The other example with regarding of you being of high established is, right now we're seeing this in front of our eyes. Scottie Pippen's ex-wife. Scottie Pippen's wife. Scottie Pippen is a 6-time NBA champion. He is well established. He is in the basketball community. He's a Hall of Famer. He has a good job at ESPN. That he's making money right now. His wife, doesn't matter how established he was, she switched up, smashed a rapper, smashed a basketball player, and now is with a 24-year-old that hasn't even stepped into Scottie Pippen's shoes yet of being a champion. This is where we're saying is, it's more of the get the bag culture. Women will stab their own mothers in the back and basically do dirt to you just to get ahead. And we're seeing this right now. So I'm done.
Here's the only problem with that, and I could be wrong because things are different state to state. When you're a professional woman and you got your money together, I haven't seen too many guys having to pay a lot of finances for child support. And please, everybody, let's not confuse child support with divorce. Those are two different court systems. They're all under family court, but they're two different court functionalities, meaning that the child support system is for people who never got married, and divorce court is totally different. So just like I explained from my experience, doesn't mean I'm right in this situation, but from my experience, I've because of the finances, I've known women who had to pay men child support because their finances are high. I know a lot of nurses that had to pay child support because they're so used to working 60 to 80 hours a week, that goes down on their taxes. And the judge has to consider that. So the judge makes them not the custodial. So this is why I say go after the professional women who are established. But it could be true what Cliffhanger is saying. What are your thoughts, social worker Robbie?
Sorry, I had myself muted. Can you please repeat the question?
So in essence, I always say go after a woman that has a little bit of classism, meaning that her finances are up to par with yours.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry.
And then Cliffhanger said it doesn't matter because of the American system we have in play. What are your
Okay.
thoughts?
That's not true. It definitely matters. It definitely matters. And it doesn't it's a complicated situation because
Don't
it
be
matters.
argumentative. Get to the point. Cliffhanger asks a question. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know that?
Go ahead.
Listen, women that have money have intelligence, they have power. They're not likely to want to trap you off with a child to siphon off of your money.
But let's take likely off the table. Let's get the
Okay, they're
Cliffhanger's
not going
point.
to. They're not going to.
Why?
Because they're too busy trying to get to their own money. I'm trying to be like, PC, but if I'm going to keep it all the way funky with you. Women that have an agenda of education and wealth building and career management, they're not worried about getting caught up with no baby. Primarily because
Go ahead, Raw.
Primarily because they have watched their friends go through the motions with baby daddies not being there, and they understand that while they can get child support is not enough to raise a child. So the bulk of the responsibility falls on them, which is why the custodial parent gets child support in the first place. Secondly, if a woman is out here living her best life, I'm going to tell you right now, most women that are educated and making money, they're trying to stick and move. Ooh, girl, that was a great night with Tyrone. But he had to get his ass up out of my house, girl, because I had to get this money. I had these reports to do.
I don't know, Robbie. I feel you. Maybe in the level of class that Robbie hangs, that is possibly true. I do disagree with Cliffhanger about Larsa. Larsa was never an established woman. Larsa was always a kept chick. It was just Scotty didn't know how to lead the chick. But
right, because don't confuse these little cute celebritant women as established women. Celebritants are established,
Oh, can I throw a little alley-oop? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me throw a little alley-oop here. I know women that are making six figures and still put their ex-husband to the child support system.
See, you said husband.
Right,
Family
and
court
we're not
is different from divorce court.
It's not. It's not different. It's not different. It's actually.
It is different, sir.
No.
Cliffhanger.
No.
The difference is
let Cliffhanger finish. Let Cliffhanger finish because I kept interrupting. My fault. Go ahead, Cliffhanger. Finish your thought.
For a man who has experienced those two different types of situations. Yes, it's different when you put two of them out of the same realm of, hey, you're getting divorced, you're separating your assets and everything. But in paperwork, they will put the support in the same paperwork that it is in the divorce decree.
Okay, so the point that I was making was established women are not going into a situation looking to screw you over with child support. Now, what happens in the back end is usually a function of whatever happened in the relationship. But before you get to that point of marriage and boyfriend and girlfriend, they're not like, ooh, this guy has a little bit of money, so let me go on ahead and let him shoot up the club so I could get pregnant with his baby. As opposed to a woman that is maybe a cashier or, a strip club or a bottle service girl. She's going to look at you like, ooh, you got money. Ooh, look at your house. Ooh, look at what these nice things, girl. Let me go on ahead and let him shoot up the club so I can have his baby.
There's a difference. You know what, Robbie? Here's what I'm gonna do. I really respect you. Maybe in your idea that doesn't happen, but you gotta have to really understand we are in the get the bag culture. Six-figure women will definitely do that. They will go ahead, shoot the club up, and keep themselves finances because here's the thing: within time, your age will deteriorate. Your looks will go bad. Your body will, sag off. You may not get that high position that you usually have. What will be the second income? The second income is that child for 18 to 25 years.
Let's go to the jury. Let's go to the jury of Manosphere Financial. Jury, how do you? And please don't do it through a car phone. Do it through the speakerphone on your cell phone because we can't hear that car phone. Manosphere Financial, you're the jury.
Yeah, I had an audio issue, but I got it figured out. My thing was this. It's like what I was saying before, like my audio fell out and all that, is that my question was, why is it that, you know, the guys, you know, they call themselves, established men and stuff, but why do they continue to pursue these, low class women who have these issues and they say are intimidated by them? Why do you keep pursuing?
Well, let me answer. Let me answer.
I think that's
Let me answer. Most of the people who say they are established are not established. Established dudes, myself, we don't deal with cashiers and stuff like that. We only deal with women who are.
You're dating who you say are intimidated by you, but you're saying that these women should want you, but you say they're intimidated by you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I said that we're intimidated by you is because, here's the thing about America. It doesn't matter how much your income is, okay? Your income is completely different, separate from your class in America. It's different in other countries,
True.
but in America, okay, your class is the actual social culture that you adhere to. And
True.
those particular women who you're talking about, who you're having these issues with, you're looking at it, oh, well, she's making 80K. She's making 100K. She should be on my team. But she's not on your team, bro, because she's from a lower class than you. Just because she's making 80K, she probably grew up in a culture where in her culture, she feels that the man is supposed to be someone that's beneath her who she can control. Because that's what she saw her mama do. So, like I said,
I agree.
We don't talk about the culture aspect of it. There is a culture aspect, and what the question I was asking, if you're an upper echelon guy, like you say you are, Mr. Researcher, like other people say they are, you need to upgrade the type of women that you're dealing with. You trying to get the hood chick who has a good job, but who still adheres to a hood culture, and you wondering why she's not trying to follow you.
Okay.
So
So
you need to go find someone who can be integrated onto your team. That's the one I was trying to make.
no, I understand. Let me answer real quick because I want your follow up on my answer. Black Americans don't have a culture. Black Americans don't have a CASTE, a caste system. Indians have a caste system. Asians have a caste system. Even whites have a caste system. But we don't have one. So the classism that you speak of, and I totally agree with you, the only one that we have is the boulets, which is the culture and family cultural definition. We have no other than their career. So how can I achieve this if I don't look at the career when boule is the only culture descendant slaves have?
Let me address that. That's a very good question. I'm very glad you asked.
That's why y'all come to the Mr. Research Show. I got very good questions.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a contradiction. First of all, it's a contradiction because you say, well, we don't have a class, but we have the boule. Well, see, here's the thing. Just because you don't like the culture, or it's not what you would prefer it to be, or it doesn't compare to other cultures in the world that you've traveled and seen, like the Indians and the Japanese and stuff like that. Just because it's not like those cultures doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Yes, we do have a culture, okay? But like I said, you're calling it the boule, but you need to understand the boule, those are your upper class, political, congressional black caucus, black bank owning, real estate owning upper class black people. You don't like them for whatever reason, so you don't want to go and integrate yourself into that class. So what you're doing is you're staying on the same class with the same women who you grew up with in the hood, coming up out of the hood, and you wondering why she don't want to be on your team. She don't want to be on your team because she came up in a hood matriarchal culture
that is a great.
Hold up. That says that you, Mr. Research, as a black man, should be under her and subservient to her so that she can control it. And if you can't do that, if you're not under her, or she can't put you under her, or she can't control you, you're now a threat to her. That's the problem that you're running into. You don't want to go deal with those boule blacks because for whatever reason you have an issue with them. So you keep running into this same problem. That's the point I was trying to make.
I was only interrupting you because you were saying the same thing 3 times. I noticed you was repeating it. So that is a very fair and valid, well-constructed point. And I have no flaw in that philosophy. Cliffhanger, what are your thoughts? You're the jury.
I think what this young brother, this brother Spacey is saying, I think he's actually not understanding that it doesn't matter what the class that there is. Yeah, because at this time there is.
Wait. I'm agreeing with this guy, and you're disagreeing. This is classic. Go ahead.
Because social engineering has been established here that no matter what happens, you can get a come up no matter if you're poor from the latest hood or even if you're in a well-off community. The difference is between a woman that's in a poor, in a low budget community and to a woman that's in a high class is I could put a down payment on an attorney right now to put you in through the cleaners. So this is the reason why I'm saying once again that the get the bag culture is alive and it's well.
Okay, let me respond to that. It's alive and well in the demographic of female who you choose to pursue.
Can you give me an example? Can you give me an example of Janet Jackson? Can you give me an example of Janet Jackson?
There's the demographic of female who you are pursuing adheres to this get the bag culture. And because that's all you know, because that's all you pursue, you're projecting that onto the whole culture. But I think
okay, cliffhanger. Let me magnify what he's saying and put some fertilizer on it.
Go ahead.
If you don't like planet Earth and you know the Martians are here visiting, jump on the darn Martian plane and stop complaining about where they might take you.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's go, for example. Can you tell me what happened to Janet Jackson?
Wait a minute. How can you argue what I just said? Go ahead. You talking about when Janet went with the Arab guy?
Yep.
She had to adhere to his power.
What happened after?
She came home and tried to take the son away from him and was unsuccessful.
But how much did she get in return through that contract?
Yeah, because that happened because his son now has connection to the Jackson family for forever.
What I'm trying to say is this: even though that happened, there was an attempt from her because she was programmed that saying that, hey, I can go ahead and get a come up because I'm getting 50. My age is not what it used to be. I can't get those dance moves like I can do. I can't go on world tours like that. I'm finna get this 500 million and sit nice. This is where I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that it doesn't matter where your class is at. It's programmed through society that, hey, if I do enough and there's no prenup or there's no type of contract involved, I could probably take this man to the cleaners and get myself a nice little bankroll.
So financial cliffhanger is saying that the system itself because it exists and it has loopholes to allow women of any lineage to go against her own Christian teachings and weaponize the system, that percentage wise is going to happen. What say you, financial?
First of all, he's making a big deal out of pennies because that $500 million is pennies in the bucket for a new civilian. Second of all, it doesn't negate my premise because let's not forget. Yeah, Janet Jackson grew up. The Jackson family. They came out of Gary, Indiana. I've been through Gary, okay, on the interstate. You don't even have to stop in. Yeah, I just stopped through there to get some chicken wings and stuff, and you don't even have to so much as stop there for longer than 5-10 minutes to realize that place is gutter, that place is bottom of the barrel. Okay, so yeah, even though the Jacksons are rich, they still come from that bottom of the barrel to culture, and about where you take a dude to the cleaners, you come up. See, if Janet Jackson had been a high class woman, what she would have done, she would have figured out a way. Well, she would have went with that Arab guy and she would have played the game with him. She would have played the game and she would have figured out, well, how do I get access to some of this Saudi Arabian oil money? Okay, how do I get access to some of this, some of this money over here in Dubai, and how do I make connections with all these other Arab people over here, so I can, that's what a high class woman would have done. So like I said, it actually follows my premise. What she did, she went exactly the low class woman route, which is to get a bag, but don't get the connection, so she can get a perpetual bag.
So you're telling me, okay. No, so you're telling me no matter what the situation of the strategy that you're basically saying and whatever I'm saying, at the end of the day, she's trying to make a move to get ahead. Sir, that is another example of get the bag culture.
He got you on that one, financial.
No, get the bag is basically, get the bag is when women think that they're winning, but they're not really winning.
No, financial. No, get the bag is male or woman putting a bag of money as the end result for everything they do.
No, it's when it's okay. You're saying that, okay, you said that $500 million, I'm not tripping off that whatever. Yeah, I'm not tripping off that because I know that's pennies in a bucket to a dude who's a millionaire. I'm not tripping off that. Y'all are, but that's not something I'm really tripping off.
Well, let's not say y'all. Let's not say y'all, because I understand the Arab, that's a plan for him, because by the time that boy turned 25, he's going to own the entire Jackson collection. Will be under Arab authority until he dies. I already know what type of business move that was. But go ahead, financial.
Exactly. So why aren't you focusing on that instead of focusing on her? That's the whole purpose of my platform. I try to get these dudes in the manosphere to actually get the financial
same as well.
side of it,
same as well.
instead of looking, this women over here went over here and got $500. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, but your logic, and I'm sorry, let me cut this off real quick. Your logic is going to get somebody in a lot of trouble because you want to think about playing chess when the other person is playing Chinese checkers. And Chinese checkers is way harder than chess, trust me.
All he's saying, financial, is that you keep ignoring the fact that the system has loopholes and the system is being weaponized. That's basically what he's saying.
Okay, why don't you get a lawyer then and figure out how to weaponize it back on him.
I already have an attorney. I actually have 2 attorneys.
Okay,
So keep it moving.
Why are you continuously complaining
Let's stick to the topic, financial. Let's not make it personal.
about a system that you know how the system is, but you still complaining about it?
There's no
Hey,
complaining.
financial. Let's talk about the topic. Let's everybody get off the you. Let's just talk about the topic.
But like you said, the child support there is there for the state, so the state is always trying to find a way to get money. That's not going to change. Like, what else? How long do you want to? How far do you want to go with this? Like,
Well,
you know what I mean?
like I said, I agree with you because you make me start thinking about some boule women I might need to start dating.
That's funny. You're
Yeah,
gonna do something from Howard Spellman.
What it is, Mr. Research, is that the way you present yourself. I mean, look at your avatar. You know, you got your suit on, you got your tie, you look very dignified and stuff. But then when you talk about the females that you deal with, it's obvious that these females are not dignified. Like you.
Yeah, that's true. Is my problem with the boules is that they don't care about black people as much.
It don't matter what they care about or not. What matters is you moving up the social ladder. That's what matters. You have to move up the social ladder.
Oh, wait. Back up. I don't need to move up the social ladder.
Yes, you do.
I've actually done that on my own. I'm connected.
Well, you need to move up more then.
Well, I care about black sons though, Mr. Financial.
I think this is individualism versus collectivism.
Yeah,
like, I agree with Titty, but I also agree with Q.
All right, I'm gonna put myself on mute. Y'all go ahead.
I gotta ask this brother this question, Mr. Whatever his financial guy is. What do you do for a living?
Huh?
What do you do for a living?
Trucking.
I don't care to disclose that.
Okay.
Well, look, I'll tell you this, brother. I don't care to disclose that at this exact moment on this live stream. But what I will tell you is that I am an independent contractor.
So you're an independent contractor. So
Yes.
okay. So do you have receipts on anything that you try to explain to me just a couple of minutes ago? Do you have receipts of anything you explained to me a couple of minutes ago?
Well, like I said, I don't see how my job necessarily has to relate to the conversation. But the point I was trying to make is this to you guys is that you guys are intelligent, accomplished black men, and I can tell that just by talking to you guys. But the thing is, y'all are focused. Y'all looking at a chick because she has a big booty, and wondering why the chick with the big booty don't want to listen to you. When you need to be looking at the chick based on what's classy.
Buddy, I think I have to agree to disagree with you on the statement. Nobody in this panel talk about a woman with a big booty. The only thing we're trying to say is no matter if what you are in a poor status when you were growing up being poor, dirt poor, or you grow up with having a silver spoon in your mouth, it is because the society is established by the get the bag culture. And I don't know what planet or what state or anything where you're from, but I'm from the South and I live in the Midwest. I see it day by day, every day. I hear it every day. And I'm actually working to become a mediator. I see it through the court system every day that women are using this as business moves. So if you want to say, hey, this is a classism situation, hey, feel free to do that. But I'm just going to let you know, put yourself in that situation where you want to use the classism thing, and she will use strategy to put you through the cleaners as well.
Okay. All right. But, like I was saying, is that y'all, a lot of men in this space, they need to elevate what it is they're actually doing. And a big part of the reason why they complain so much.
But what you're talking about, what do you mean by elevating? What do you mean by elevating?
Well, let me come back in real quick. So financial is basically saying something I always say, which I kind of understand his point. His point is financially be superior in all of these legal matters, and
Exactly.
financially put yourself in a position, even though you may not like it, which is what he was cursing me out about. And I'm joking when I say cursing out, but he was cursing me out about, hey, look, Mr. Research, you may not like this big nose girl, but the big nose girl is 80% of what you want. So hold your nose and go. So in essence, he's telling you that, Cliffhanger. He's saying, in his opinion, hold your nose and go make more money. And Mr. Financial Cliffhanger is saying, you know what? Irregardless of what you're talking about, the system is what it is, and it's not a fair system. So Cliffhanger is he's on the warning part of it, warning black men, forget what Mr. Financial is talking about, because you are not guaranteed no percentage that it's going to go the way Mr. Financial is saying. Go ahead, sir.
That's the thing. Y'all need to get fairness out of your head, man. There's no such thing as fairness. There's only power. And y'all not focusing enough on the power. That's
Yeah.
what I gotta do.
Yeah, but to get the bad culture as well, man, does actually go with power. One thing I said for a prime example with Mr. Research a couple of streams ago is watch the TV show House of Cards. The woman basically moves up from being the first lady to now, or being the woman of a congressman, to being the first lady, to being the first lady, to moving up to being VP, to sooner or later becoming president. So with that being said, it's to get the bad culture is also power moves. You can still shake hands with people. You can still get networks and make money that way as well. The thing is, you're not looking at is superior. The superiority is dead. If you want to talk about power, talk to me when you got yourself 150 acres of land and you have your own government moving. If you have your own government, then you got power. I'm going to say, if you got your own government and you got your own flag, you got power. But right now, you're in the same place as me, man. We're in the United States of America, and we're just we have Social Security numbers. We are employees of the United States of America.
Let me ask you something. Muammar Gaddafi had his own flag and his own government. Okay, and what happened to him?
He was
Hillary.
he was assassinated. He was assassinated because he was going to give it to brothers and have Louis Farrakhan to distribute the wealth.
So what is this stuff that you got to have your own flag, your own land?
But wait a minute. Hold on, Mr. Financial. Cliffhanger just made a good point. He was assassinated. He was creating his own money. He had a contract with Georgia at the lower part of Russia. You just can't negate what Cliffhanger said, because that's a valid point.
No, but what I'm saying is you can have those things of what you said, but you're still not invulnerable. You said you got to have your own land, your own flag, your own. So basically, what I'm getting from you is that you feel, and this is a problem for black men and manosphere, is that you feel powerless. That's what the problem is. You feel powerless in your, or there's a certain sense of powerlessness in your rhetoric, and that's what governs the things that you say. You feel powerless.
Let me.
No matter what you do, you're going to be undermined by the so-called system, as you say.
Man, this is getting heated, boy. This is
Well, let me give you the answer. No, I don't feel powerless. I actually feel a little bit comfortable. I'm just aware that at the end of the day, you're spinning some logic that's going to get a person in trouble. Okay, I understand you want to have them build their own wealth and be powerful, but I don't think you understand what power really is. I seen what power really is. I seen a dude that was worth billions doing 25 years in the Fed right now because he was.
Why did he do 5 years in the Fed?
He was about to
Because-
tell you
Go ahead.
before you interrupted.
Okay, go ahead.
And-
Why did he?
No, tell him why.
And
Why did
predatory lending.
Okay, so his legal game wasn't it? Okay.
What about this?
Breaking
What
the
about this?
law, okay.
What
Well,
about
look,
this?
When you break the law, it doesn't matter how much money you have. When you break the law like that, there is a chance. Are you talking about the guy? I think he was I saw a Netflix documentary on
American Greed.
Yeah, the guy that had the check loan places, check cashing places. The white
Correct.
boy. He knew what the fuck he was doing.
So
And he
okay,
knew
okay,
he
but
knew
but
exactly
here's
what the fuck he was doing.
but here's what I was trying to say to you.
He knew exactly what the fuck he was doing.
Here's what I'm
And
trying
you know
to say
what?
to you.
And he rolled the dice and he played the game and he lost.
Here's
So
what I'm trying to say.
I don't feel bad for that dude. He
Okay.
knew what the fuck he was doing. He's not a victim.
Okay. Here's what I'm trying to say to you before I was interrupted. Basically, it proves my point once again. It doesn't matter if you have power or not power, man. It's the get the bag culture. Doesn't matter if you are doing something legally or illegally, if you're doing something righteous or not righteous, you're still going to get it no matter what. They want their pound of flesh. As for you, and another example, you're trying to use this as being a form of royalty and having this form of prestige and power in the form of classism. Do you know right now in 2020, about to be 2021, the idea of that is about to go. There are not going to be any more classes because right now the government has shown that, hey, you need to depend on us to make sure that your paychecks are running. Now, you probably are in the trucking business doing this to make money, and I understand you, man. So, hey, keep it up and keep doing what you're doing, man. But for the other people out here in this world, I'm just doing this trying to give them awareness and teaching them that, hey, be careful of where you make your moves. Think 3 steps ahead and strategize, because at the end of the day, you don't know what another person's intent is.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Mr. Research, oh my God! The government's coming in! The government's coming in with troops, with the New World Order, and they gonna come in, and they gonna take us out of our houses, and they gonna make us go live in FEMA camps. Mr. Research, it's so terrible!
Oh, man, this is funny.
Mr. Research, what do we do? The government's gonna put us all in FEMA camps, and there's not gonna be classes anymore.
Do you have any comeback? Do you have any comeback?
Go to a cashless society.
Do you have any
Where'd you go?
comeback?
Where'd you go?
I don't know. But did this man have any comeback? Does this man have any comeback? Man, let me ask you a question. Do you have any comeback?
I didn't even get no word in. This is
Sorry,
crazy.
man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nah, man. Finish what y'all doing. Hopefully, Q comes back. Hopefully.
Once again, brother, not trying to disrespect you. Just saying the stuff that you're talking can get somebody in trouble. If you're going to say a statement, and if you're going to make statements, you need to give a cause and effect. And basically, all I hear is you're dating the wrong people. You're dating people with a big booty and a smile and all that stuff. Nobody's talking about that, man. We're only talking about is they get the bad culture, how society is ran, and how the system is not fair. Even if you have money and you can push up into an attorney. And trust me, I have 2 attorneys. It doesn't work unless you are aware of what you're doing and if you have the knowledge to navigate through it.
Mr. Research, you need to come kick this guy off the panel.
Ain't nobody saying that neither.
Understand my point
Dude.
of view. So you need to come back, Mr. Research.
This must have been something brewing way before I came through, because I don't get the animosity.
What do you mean?
I don't get boy's animosity towards the panel, bro. Like I actually agree with a lot of what everybody said in this panel today.
I
Like
understand, but I understand, man.
I,
But
I
you
know
have
what you
this
mean.
guy.
I ain't disagreeing with you neither. It is about information and legalese and understanding specific procedures in the law. So I actually do agree on that aspect, man. Like there's a lot of dudes that don't even understand how to be able to get a lawyer on retainer, let alone try to construct something at a higher level where you're negotiating contracts, applying for specific government needs, just pretty much navigating pretty much on a straight arrow. Like, um, like with me, I rarely talk about dating.
Yeah,
Literally rarely. Because dating ain't my priority, man. Like I
it,
think a lot of dudes give that so much power where they're blinded on anything else. It's a one-track thinking.
and I get that, but okay. So for example, where I'm from, okay, from my example is this: I work in the collection game, and I've been doing this for 14 years. Do you know how many calls I hear of people saying that, "Hey, man, I just don't have it right now, man. I'm going through a divorce. My wife took my kids and taking everything from me and this and that." And it goes on a day-to-day basis. You'll be surprised. And the biggest thing is, it's not a black thing. It's a every man thing. And for this person that's over here on the bottom corner right, basically saying that you need to choose your women wisely. You can choose, hey, you can have Mother Mary as your girlfriend, but if she knows what she can do, she will base in this United States of America, she will flip around and do the same thing too. Why do you think that most women that overseas, you get a woman from overseas, she'll come back and go to the United States of America, and then she gets westernized with this information, and then she goes, "Oh, I can go and get him too like that? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my green card, and once I get my green card, I'm going to go ahead and take him to the cleaners too."
Yeah, I respect this whole panel and topic. I got to get on the treadmill, man. So Q, cliffhanger, Q, financial. Salute to everybody, man. Have a blessed weekend, y'all. I'm out of here.
Yeah, you too, man. I'm sorry. Who is this right here?
I'm back. That's a MC Worker. I'm back. I just
Oh,
wanted y'all
okay.
to have that conversation.
I'm sorry, Mr. Research. Homie, the guy that you were talking to, he left. I don't know what the situation was. He started cry a little bit, like Carl Thomas, emotional. But the only thing I'm just saying is, the only thing I was saying, Mr. Research, is this. Thank you for the time for me being here. I just wanted to show that, hey, even in this situation that we're talking about classes, we're talking about statuses, leveling up, a lot of people need to be aware of what it takes to level up and what it takes to actually be in that relationship with someone, because you don't know what that person's motives or intentions are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in, Cliffhanger.
Yes.
I appreciate it, sir. I'll talk to you another time.
Yes, you too.
All right. Let's get MC Worker. MC Worker, what are your thoughts on everything you heard, sir?
Well, I mean, it was a lot of facts going out. But like you said earlier, at the end of the day, you know, as you say, all women go up, no matter the woman's race, how she was raised, at the background does not matter.
Hey, Cliffhanger had a point. Cliffhanger had a point right there. I mean, they all go left.
Oh yeah, and look, I mean, hey, it's expected, but at the end of the day, what should also be expected as a man is that you should be able to have your stuff, your things in order, so that way, when those things, if they do arise, those things do happen, then you can be able to better have the situation better, as opposed to just being out in the battlefield without a sword, so to speak.
Well, And then, hey, look, Financial had a situation where he was like, hey, look, you just got to be money prepared all the time. I mean, which is what I say all the time anyway. But so I did understand both of their points. I understand Financial too. All right, shit's gonna happen. Keep 20 G's on deck.
Well, yeah, I mean, but now this is where also goes back to as well that you have to be able to put yourself in a better situation so that you can be able to have 20,000 on deck in the event something does go left. But as you
Yeah.
say, the only way you're going to be able to do that is that you're going to have to get out of the mind of just doing just enough. Because that attitude, just doing just enough, has crippled and broken the minds and financial pockets of so many black men.
And I think that was Mr. Financial's point, is that this crap is going to happen unless so you got to put yourself in a position as best as possible. And shout out to Carlton, said, Mr. Research, you're going to be head of the boule. But Financial had a point. And see, I'm fair when people come over here to my channel, man. I don't just stick with no one narrative. And that's why people like me, because I'm willing to say I'm wrong or that's fair. But he had a fair point too. Hey, don't complain about the women. Go get you a big nose, flat booty, boule, and you'll have 80% of what you want.
Yeah.
Well, look,
That's
she ain't gonna like
fact.
black people. Look, she ain't gonna like black people, but
That's all right. And look, as long as your kid can come out black and you can be able to instill in your child about what it is about being black, hey.
Oh, that's funny.
You may have to go that route.
Yeah, that's
look, if she can help you get you to a better situation, whether it's finances or more networking, then hey, I mean, I'll be okay with that. I'm just saying.
Hey, look, MC Worker,
I'm not black at the end of the day.
Look, MC Worker, we're not going to none of your black functions. Hanging with your black friend.
And you know what? That is okay. That is okay. You don't have to. In the meantime, MC Worker gonna be trying to own NC.
There you go. There you go.
And I think sometimes, both sides, but I'm just gonna say for the men, that we romanticize in our minds what type of woman, what type of life we're going to have, regardless of what sometimes reality shows us.
That's true.
And sometimes it takes someone who's on the outside looking in, is like, no, you're nowhere near that. First, you need to take these steps before you even think about getting to that point. And I think sometimes it's very hard for us to swallow that reality.
You know what's so funny? You know the politician from Minnesota, Ilhan Omar?
Uh-huh.
So her husband encouraged her to marry her. And see, this is what I said. Sometimes Africans they are strategic, but they throw their women off to the side quick. He encouraged his wife to marry the white guy who was running her campaign. So the white guy left his wife, got with the Ilhan Omar, and then the husband went and married a different Ethiopian girl who looks just like her.
Well, isn't Omar? Well, that Somalians and Ethiopians and Eritreans.
I'm sorry. I thought she was Ethiopian. My fault.
No, well, she's I believe I want to say she's Somalian, but they're all part of, I want to say Habesha. They're part of the Habesha tribe, I think. Well, a lot of them. It's one of the biggest groups, one of the biggest tribes on the eastern.
What tribe?
Africa.
What tribe is
Habesha.
it?
Habesha.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, Somalia.
Funny. They got some on the Ethiopian side too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, truth be told, I mean that to me, if I'm pretty sure, genetically speaking, they are practically to some
Oh
extent.
no! My neighbor who's 2 houses down, he just bought a house here. He was talking to me about that. They all used to be one people.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so they
And they're
all so
pretty much
so
first cousins.
they all used to be Cush.
Yeah.
Cush existed before Pharaoh in Egypt.
Well, yeah. That Kush was all part of that area.
Right.
And I want to say it stretched all the way down to where the northern part of Uganda's at.
Yeah. It was then the lower part of Egypt. So
Right.
that's when it was Nubia.
Yeah.
You're talking about when it was Nubia. At first it was Nubia,
Yes.
then it was Cush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
So I mean,
that's where the term Nubians came from. So
right. I mean, at the end of the day, I think regardless of what many people may see or say on the outside, you as a black man have to do what's best for you, because other people are doing what's best for them. It may be sounding selfish, it may be sounding kind of weird, but at the end of the day, I don't know who you decide to marry, but whoever, it may be that boule sister who may be an A cup with the flying board booty, but you're gonna be sitting there with your child, and you guys gonna be having the things that you want. And so, I mean, it is what it is.
absolutely. Then I'm gonna have all them boule problems.
True.
But
And look, yeah, because look, nobody wants to talk about how, I mean, to some extent, like I was saying earlier, with a lot of women, to some extent, no matter the class of woman per se, there's always going to be a different type of class in them. Like, you may think that she may be a classy woman all across the board, but I guarantee you, there's going to be a pinch somewhere, a pinch of what we call urban in her. There's going to be a pinch there. No matter how she's raised, it's going to be a pinch. I don't know how big that pinch going to be. I guess you'll find out if you make her angry enough. But I'm just saying, if I mean, at the end of the
go ahead.
At the end of the day, I mean, you just do what's best for you.
Okay. Thank you so much, MC Worker. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me up here.
Yeah. Come again now. All right, this was a great show, man. I learned a lot, and that was the whole point of having discussion, is that you learn also, so that way you ain't just making speeches, you actually learning from your peers. Everybody got a chance to speak. We didn't have a lot of interruptions. Here's what I started off with. I started off with a lot of women are intimidated, but you know what? Financial made a good point. They're intimidated because regardless of their money, regardless of their career, they still poor-minded in their actions. It's a very valid point, and that's just what it is. Let me say this, man. I thank all of you guys who donated. There was a couple of you guys that donated throughout this. I appreciate it. You know the link is on the video. Cash App is on the video. Every little bit helps. I appreciate you guys, man. So I'm out of here, man. Much love, and tune in next time. I'm developing some things where we're gonna have a better call-in show, and we'll make things happen. Much love. Talk to y'all soon. Probably catch you later tonight. All right. Peace. Yeah.